Christmas. Wait, I mean, Happy Merry Easter? What? And that shot pretty much sums up the last 2 weeks of my life. Now I feel like I should explain what this video is because it's a little bit of everything. Basically, it's cold, it's snowing, it snowed like 3-4 times this past few weeks, and there's corona, so I'm stuck inside most of the time when I'm not at work anyway. So basically, I decided that I was going to finish a lot of the projects that I needed to be finishing. The first thing that I needed to finish was this rag rug, or this t-shirt rug. It's made entirely out of t-shirts that were either stained or had holes in them or just had shrunk or didn't look nice anymore, and I went ahead and I chopped them up into these little strips, and basically it's braided, so you don't have to sew anything. So it's a braided t-shirt rug, or a braided rag rug, and what I'm doing is I'm just weaving those in. It's super great. I actually learned how to do this off of a YouTube video. This is the third one I've made. If I can find some pictures, I might put them up on here. If I can't, I won't, I guess. I don't know. If you really want to know, I guess be watching my Instagram, just in case I happen to post a picture there. Anyway, I have this huge stack of t-shirts, or strips of t-shirts that I'm just weaving in and out. And I have a whole bunch of other projects that I've been wanting to finish. But like I said, this is the first project I wanted to finish. I kind of did like a purple, blue, pink swirl thing, and then I went ahead and I did like this dark black and brown ring, and then I decided to finish off with some more colors, and here's the finished rug. And then it was on to some Easter shenanigans with my sisters.
You think I don't know what I'm doing? Yes, I do know what I'm doing. That's my chick. That's the crazy psycho drug chick.
Why, you may ask, are we painting rocks? Eggs are in short supply, duh. We're trying to help other people. Don't just disregard the glove that's on my sister's hand, okay? I don't know what that's for, where that came from. Just, who knows? She's not in my control. Anyway, though, I don't actually know why we were painting rocks. We did have eggs that we could have painted on or dyed, but we used rocks because that's what we had, and I think my sister had found something on Pinterest, and then she found this thing called like hydro dipping rocks and eggs and things on Pinterest, and she tried, and let's just say it's a Pinterest fail, just like my little painted chick was 100% a Pinterest fail. And who knows what the glove was for really, because she just dipped her hand in it, and well, there we go. Now, if you clicked on this video because of the thumbnail, well, here's the part of the video that you are waiting for. I had started this Easter dress a whole year ago, and I had the base of the bodice and the skirt done, but I had just never gotten around to putting on or hand sewing all of these little tiny flower petals. So that is what I am doing here. I'm just sewing them on by hand, and now I have pins again, so that's great. So if you've ever watched my YouTube channel before, you probably recognize this backdrop, but this right here is a new addition. Well, not really new. I got that curtain from a thrift store in October. I was going to use it for this Halloween costume, and then I ended up making it with pink tulle. I also made this Halloween costume. It's made out of a purple dress, a sheer, and 2 red and black dresses, but I just used the black lace on those. And fun fact, I grew that green pumpkin in my garden on my own. It's the first pumpkin I've ever grown, and it's mine. It's my baby. I'm accomplished. Yep, that's all I needed in life, was to grow myself a pumpkin. Pink tulle instead of this purple curtain, and it must also be from Walmart because I'm pretty certain that both of these curtains came from Walmart. So now I have a third curtain, so that's really cool. And I don't know, that's it. Yeah, onward we go. Now I would have to say that this is probably the most daunting part of finishing that Easter dress, was the skirt and having to sew on all of the petals. In the end, I actually didn't end up sewing on as many petals as I had originally envisioned a whole year ago, just because I really I didn't want to, because it took forever. So I just kind of added a few extras, but this is pretty much all I did. So I also have this orange inspired friendship bracelet that I started working on, I don't know, a while ago. And I decided that I would go ahead and finish this as well. So yeah. And it's done.
Snowing.
That's snow falling in the sun. Snow. Best if you look at that black pole because it's a good background. hand, and I bought it for 25 cents. I wanted to say that I got it used, but it's not really used because it's in the package. So we're gonna use the term secondhand. And I have this blue sheet that perfectly matches these fat quarters I got on sale at Walmart. So yeah, we're gonna make a quilt. That's what I've been meaning to do. I cut out some squares already, so let's do it. Now, I did not measure anything like at all before I started this quilt, which means that I was bound to screw up somehow. And I did run out of fabric. I was off by like 6 squares of fabric, so I was able to use some red fabric that I had in my stash, and I was able to make a few more extra squares. That way I could finish off the quilt. So I'm about to show you what I had originally had designed or envisioned, which was this with blue in each of those empty spots, but there you can see I'm missing some squares. I planted some crocuses and tulips, and look, they're blooming. There's a yellow one, there's a purple one, and look, that's snow. It's April 13th, and that's snow. It snowed. What on earth? So this is the design that I ended up settling on. I think it looks pretty cute. That diamond or so in the center, I ended up straightening it out. This is just what I did to remember the center was. And I just picked up each of those rows and I sewed them together, and I made these strips that reminded me a lot of the car wash, which I think is absolutely great. And then I made this stop motion, which I think was super fun to watch. So I sped it up and I put it in here over and over and over again because I love watching it, just like I love time lapses. So I figured, why wouldn't you guys like it too? So there you go. It's snowing again. And here's the quilt top all sewn up, except as you can see, it turned out being a square instead of a rectangle because I didn't do the math and figure out how many pieces I needed. So I added this border. I now have a very beautiful, very thin, pretty, unfinished quilt top, but that is progress. So now I am going to go ahead and get my backing, I guess if that's what you call it. I don't know, this is only the third quilt I've ever made. And then my batting, which I have right here. I'm sitting on top of it actually. And then I'm going to sew this together, and I have a really ambitious plan of how I want to stitch my quilt top to the rest of my quilt. And then I'm going to bind it with a blue binding that I made that looks just like this. And this isn't really a project I needed to finish. It's only something that I had been planning on doing for the last 3 days or so, but I wanted to put this cute little embroidery on this apron I had. It's adorable. Oh, hello. I'm just sitting here on my newly finished rug, wearing my newly finished Easter dress that was supposed to be finished a whole year ago, wearing my gorgeous orange-inspired friendship bracelet, and making the finishing details on my quilt. Thank you for watching and for being very productive with Princess Me today.